Dom, I see you're in a hoodie. Happy Hoodie Friday.
Oof, it's like 40 degrees out here. It's cold.
It's the same over here. It's the same over here. We finally broke it, but it was nice. It was 2 days of like 70-degree weather here, which was actually somewhat nice. I really appreciated it. It's 52 right now, so it's warmer here than there. You're also by the ocean. Well, I guess we're by the ocean. Right? No way, Nate. Nate, welcome back, my friend. You make my day happy. Obviously, Craig too. When I see you guys, I picture Australia. I see Craig. I see Nate. That's what I always see.
And Mr. Carblaze, good morning.
What's up? What's up, sir?
What's up, guys?
How are you doing? How was your I was about to say, how is your sweater? Because I couldn't get it off my mind. I just see your sweater, and I'm so curious what's going on with your sweater here. I love it. I love the colors. Are these handprints? Give us the story.
Can I ask you a question first?
Of course you can.
Do you need a hand? What about
one more time?
He said, "Do you need a hand?" And then he said, "What about two?"
No. I said, "You need a hand. What about a turkey hand?" They're all they're turkeys.
I see. Well, I love it. I love everything about it. It's like it makes me think of like a super dad sweatshirt. Because did your kids make it?
No.
Oh, did someone else's kids make it?
No, I bought it.
Love it. Oh yeah, no, I love it. It's so cool. Your sweater game is better than my sweater game. So
I actually let my buddy borrow this sweater 6 years ago, and he actually just mailed it back to me this past last month. And it fits great because I used to look like, I don't know, Hulk Hogan, and it didn't fit very well. But now that I've trimmed out a little bit, especially because I'm doing the 24 challenge, feeling good. Feels good. Fits nice.
All right. Nice, man. Just a reminder, the 24 ounces of vegetable and fruit is not supposed to be for overall weight loss, but it can definitely end up being there for how it just makes you feel. So I'm glad. Hold on. I want to do this. This is on my head. I feel like whenever I feel like it, I'm gonna do it because I want to connect with you guys in what we know is the amusing edition, but it really just makes me feel like it's all the same and that we're married. So we're gonna pick one of these sides. I'm gonna get new cards. Some of these cards, I'm not loving the questions. Some of the questions aren't that great, but Dom, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, stopped. All right. When you think of your grandparents, what do you think of? How's this the amusing edition? I don't it doesn't make sense to me. Like, that's not an amusing question. But Dom, when you think of your grandparents, what do you think
of? So my dad's side, I just remember them as just like I don't know, just like old and frail and short and just being there and being around, very quiet. Whereas my mom's mom was a little younger, a little bit more involved in things. she's a sweet old lady with a lot of cats. So I don't know. She's a cat lady.
All right. I love all that. I also there is one side of my family where the people I think of the relatives, and they were just like all a lot older and more frail. And there was one side of my family where they were just a little bit more younger and lively. So I definitely agree with you. It's kind of a weird thing. Blaze, what do you think of when you think of your grandparents?
I just think of my grandma's house. Like, all my grandparents were gone by the age of like 8, so that was super sad. But we lived in my grandma's house towards the end of his life, and I just think about their big house and how we used to have these huge dinners around the holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. But when they died, we stopped getting together as a big family, and that's really sad. And I hope that my kids still get together when I'm not here.
Well, I love that your parents just moved closer to you guys. That's a really cool thing.
Oh, thanks.
I hope so. When I think of my grandparents again, I just mentioned kind of like an older side, a younger side. My dad's side was like by the beach. I can think of their house. Blaze, you just reminded me to think of their house. Big, it wasn't a huge house. It was like a retirement community. They lived in a house. I think it was a retirement community. This like yellow house. I think of their neighbors. I can think right now. I think my older brother. I think Jason would be able to kind of give me a little bit more of that background. But I can remember like my grandma and my grandpa's kitchen. They had this little witch that they would hang over the sink. And as kids, we always wanted to lift the witch's skirt because you could see her butt. And so I remember that was like one thing right now. There's like so many little things that I can think about. And then my mom's side, they were all in Seattle basically. And so I think of like my grandma, my mom's mom was like so vibrant, and you never kind of knew what was going to happen with her. She was like the grandma that like would start. I guess I think about it now, like she would start like all of the email chains. Remember when people would send you like email chains all the time? Remember that was like what 20 years ago now? I have no clue.
Yeah.
But like she loved to do that. So okay, so Jason said I wanted skirt. Jason did too. Okay, cool. So I remember that. That was definitely cool. I feel like I would want that little witch. I have to find it. I'll definitely find one and see if I can put it there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for appeasing that. I like those questions. Want to go start with some gratitude over here? How do you guys feel? How are we feeling going into the weekend?
Who just said one side's Duck Dynasty, the other's Kardashians? That's really funny.
I think that was Paul.
I think that was Paul, right?
Yeah.
Opposites attract for sure. Blaze, give me some gratitude, man. What are we focusing on?
It's Friday. I think the gratitude that I have is we're going into a 3-day weekend, and the kids don't have school on Monday, but we've worked really hard to set up appropriate childcare so it's not too stressful on the family because I still have to work, Heather still has to work. So I'm just thankful. And my family's in town too, so there's just lots of help.
Why do the kids have off?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Oh, got it. All right. I'll look into that. I think the last holiday we talked about, Blaze, I think we had it wrong. So I'll definitely research that so we come in with some correct information. Good. That's yeah. I think Lauren mentioned that the kids are maybe going to go to the grandparents' house. That's good. Don, what do you have for gratitude?
I'm grateful for Nate. He cracks me up.
Sorry.
But for me today, wait, this is the wrong day. I did some gratitude for myself today. I wanted to like throw down on myself this morning.
Yeah.
Tom, can you
just me in general?
Tom, can you hold up your journal? Can I just see it? You have to show the writing. Is it just like you're just writing it?
Yeah, just spiral journal.
I feel like I need that
4-pack on Amazon.
Okay. I feel like I have to start doing that more.
So
Anyway,
I just
sorry.
like most of the days I just do like a little paragraph in gratitude and then a little paragraph about the reading. If I have time, if I'm not like reading it 1 minute before the show starts.
I hear you.
But yeah, I hate it. I hate gratitude myself, my journey, my health, my life, and my comfortable bed. Because I got a good night's sleep last night. Felt really good.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
man.
How about you, buddy?
I'm going to share some gratitude, kind of a story right now. I'm just thinking about it. You just mentioned sleeping. I'm not a good sleeper, and maybe I have to talk to my brother for a second because Jason, I need you to help me out. If you come east, I might need more of this. But I recently, and I feel like talking about this has always been so taboo, right? And I've actually never been someone to actually try this, but I've been kind of experimenting with like some CBD to help me sleep, and it's been, I think in my mind, I'm like just with like gummies and whatnot. And so I've been like trying a gummy. I'm like, I'm doing drugs. I don't want it because I've always kind of been that kid that just never did that kind of stuff. And so I've been trying CBD and it's really been helping my sleep a lot more. And I've just realized that I knew it, but I think I'm grateful for whatever happened in my life to get to the point to feel comfortable enough to try it. And it's been really beneficial. I've been sleeping a lot better. So good reminder from you. And that's where I'm going to say, I mean, like, I don't know how to talk I don't know how to talk about CBD versus THC and all those kind of things. So it's just like, that is, well, Nate, it's taboo. I mean, I see you asking, but like, yeah, no, it's definitely taboo. It's something that I think a lot of people just don't know how to talk about it or what it really means or what's a drug, what's not a drug. I mean, yeah, it definitely is. It's not a mainstream conversation. And so I think it's definitely something that I'm just glad to have had the chance to do it because it's been benefiting me. So I just want to say that. I think it's a good conversation.
Good, man. It's good to hear. Yeah, I think
Thanks, man.
I think like if you wanted a simple comparison between me and you, and I liken you to like my wife and then a couple other people that I know is like I don't think your mind can easily shut down, whereas I can shut my mind down, especially at night. Like it almost turns off, like it almost like starts going to sleep before I know it. But I think like we've talked about before with your ADHD and everything else you have going on up there, I think it's harder for you. So I think the use of a drug is like that's what it's meant for. Like it's meant for people like you that need to sleep because you do need to sleep to do the things that you do, to train your body the way you train your body, to run your mind the way you run your mind, and to live your life. Like you need sleep. And so it's meant for people like you and others like that have problems. It's not meant for, high school kids to just fuck around with.
Yeah, I think that's like maybe is that the taboo side of it? I don't really know.
Yeah.
It does. I don't mean to pivot so quickly. Thank you for reflecting on all that and sharing it because it definitely is true, everything that you just said. And when you said that sometimes, what did you just say? You said that sometimes you find that your brain is shutting down sooner or faster than you think, whatever it is. I feel that with the CBD, with the gummy, whatever it was. What am I saying? It was a gummy. It's like 2 milligrams. I think I've been trying to like keep it around there, bite the thing in half. I'm afraid to take too much. But what you just said is like, yeah, I find that my brain is now starting to remind me. It's like, hey, I'm shutting down right now. I'm going to sleep because you have to go to sleep, and it's been a helpful thing. It does feel weird though because a lot of things that I end up doing, like in the night owl kind of side of myself, it's like where I am creative, and I feel like it is really helpful. So it's like my brain is pushing me to sleep when I'm used to like actually being efficient with some things at night. So it's a tough one. So, but just trying it out. So it's helpful. That's all that. Oh yeah, sorry. The hard pivot I was thinking about was because today was all about your kids coming to you for help, and so this is just making me think about how, I don't know, did you guys go to your parents for help with like everything, or did you ever keep like secrets from your family, whether it was like health or financial or mental or whatever it was? Like, did you guys always talk to your parents about things?
No.
No, not
I
really.
didn't either. And I think about it, like there were a few things here. I'll get really vulnerable for a second. Hyperhidrosis was a thing when I was younger, which is just like where you just sweat a lot. And so like my like pits, I would walk around, I'd be like so sweaty, which is like a normal thing for kids that are going through either puberty or just certain parts of their life. But I didn't know. I was like, I don't like this. This feels weird. I was embarrassed about it, all those kind of things. And so like I never brought it up with my parents, but I would go and find ways to deal with it myself, which isn't a blame on my parents. It pushed me to kind of find a solution. So I think that's definitely good. But there were other things I remember, like I wanted a cell phone, but I was afraid to ask my parents for a cell phone when they were all so new. So I went to my friend, or I was talking with my friend, and he actually co-signed for me to get a cell phone because I guess his parents already built his credit. And so I had that. So I never asked for that kind of thing. And then, there were a few other things in my life where I never went to my parents for it, but I never went to them because I was afraid for what Ryan Holiday said here. He said, what did he say? Oh, man, I can't find the right sentence that I wanted it to be. I think it was just about like basically like judgment, or, and I really want to find this really quickly.
They would rush to judgment.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Like it wasn't as if like there was like, oh, well, let me understand why you want to do it. It was a quick no or a quick yes. And it was like, well, I really wanted to have the conversation. I didn't really want to get a yes or a no just yet. I maybe wanted to find how to organize my own thoughts a little bit more. And again, not a blame on my parents so much, but I'm trying to be that for my kids. Do you guys connect with that thought?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I just think about how, as they're young right now, I need to try and be as patient with them as possible, because I think like me overreacting probably drives away future them to come to me with their problems. And I think already my daughter goes to my wife more, which I think is pretty normal, but my son likes to lie to me a lot about stuff. Like he got in a fight at school the other day and he didn't want to talk about it, or he like shifted the conversation. So really trying to be cognizant of like, how can I create this safe space for them to come to me? So they will talk to me about this stuff. So I'm working on that.
Do you think maybe your daughter goes to your wife more because you're the one around more, so she already knows what your answer is? Maybe she knows how to manipulate your wife more?
No, I don't think she's being manipulative. I just think that.
Sorry, yeah, that's not what but
yeah.
Okay.
No, my wife usually puts my daughter to bed, and I think that's when they have these like more in-depth conversations. So I just think that they have that time already carved out where they connect on that level. Whereas I'm more of the like, all right, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to get this in place. We got to get that in place. So I know Jason, and we've talked about it. Some is like, making sure we're doing like daddy-daughter dates and stuff like that to create that time in that space.
No, good reminder, man. I forgot about doing that. I gotta do that more often. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just busy. No, I'm not. That's an excuse.
Yeah, we need a year-long date challenge where you get points every time you date your wife and points every time you date your children. And I don't mean that second one to be weird.
I don't think
it's all accountable for that stuff.
I think here in this space we understand what you're saying.
Because I've been off that too, and I always circle back to it and mean to like put myself in those situations with my girls, but I always forget when the time comes or when the weekend comes up. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. Haven't done it in a while.
Well, it looks like we have a challenge coming up.
Sounds good. I like that idea. I'll do it. I wanted to just, because I think it's just a good reminder that what Ryan Holiday says here, I feel like I'm having a hard time finding everything that I liked. But Ryan Holiday said, like, you better make yourself the kind of parent who has earned this honor for them to come to you, who has earned that respect, right? So okay, I want to ask this and find a something that we can implement right now, because I was thinking about this. My oldest daughter has a hard time falling asleep, and I know that I'm like, okay, I think that your brain is like my brain because you can't shut your brain down. And I feel really bad, and I've been trying to give her some ideas around like meditation or reading, whatever's going on, but she has a hard time. But I know that I get frustrated when she'll come out of bed and she's like, Dad, I'm really having a hard time falling asleep. And so I'm like, I already gave you all these like things to try to do. And I'm like, I'm not rushing to judgment. I think I'm rushing to frustration. And so I'll be like, no, get back in bed. That has to happen right now. And like, just go read. And I remember I did that last night, and I walked back in her room after she walked back in. I was like, I'm so sorry. I just need to make sure, like, what is it you think you're having a hard time? Are you thinking about something? Whatever's going on. But how could we remain curious in those moments? Do you guys have an example of something that's happening in your life right now? What's happening? And even on the couch, like, is this happening for you guys? I'd love to kind of know how to slow things down in the moment, to stay curious, stay patient. What are you guys doing?
I think it always starts with just like your body language. Like, I mean, reflecting on this morning, DeMille was being really demanding because she wears pigtails to school every day, and she can't put them in, and she doesn't let me in. So that means somebody else in our house has to put her pigtails in. And she was like really demanding. And I was all the way upstairs, and I just heard her say, like, you need to put my pigtails in. And I was like, DeMille. And I think that would have been like a good opportunity for me to go downstairs. Like when you feel your body tense up, taking that deep breath and letting your relax and say, okay, don't let me lead with my frustration and anger right now, but where can I come from a place of curiosity and grace and compassion and like have that conversation. But then also the bus is coming in 5 minutes, so it doesn't really like allow for that time. But maybe that's something that I can revisit with her later and say, hey, sweetie, like, what was going on this morning? And I'm back to letting them watch TV in the morning because I think it's better for my son because he's been waking up early, and I think I'm trying to connect with his teacher if he's acting better in class. But it's hard because there's so many uncontrollable factors with that. But I think it starts with just like training your body when you feel yourself tense up, take a deep breath, and then try and approach it more thoughtfully.
That reminds me of, I thought it was really helpful one time in therapy. I was forced to put together like an anger scale, like a frustration scale, anger scale, whatever it was. And it was helpful for me to understand how to actually rank, like how where I was feeling something, what's going on. And like one thing I know for sure is like when I start becoming like overly sarcastic, that means I'm about to like really get angry and explode. But what you're saying about like where you're feeling it there, kind of understand not letting something you feel inside be the thing that makes it react. So that anger scale thing, I'm going to revisit that for myself. I think it's good. Don, how about you?
No, I agree with Blaze. Like I can feel myself, and then I tend to, make the yell, and then now I've just been training myself to, I don't know, I feel like I've been trying my hardest to just talk less or just react less as much as possible at home, because I've just found myself like in the parenting role, like you're almost always in a situation where you're either frustrated or tense or getting upset or trying to tell someone what to do. And so like that's just your natural like go-to instinct as a parent, where when in all this reading and everything that we know from our childhoods, that's like not what kids want. Like they don't want to hear those things, or have a parent like that, and that's not conducive to a long-term relationship, or a good one at least, with them. So I think I've been trying to smile more, be quiet, listen, and just let things play out as much as possible. Like when they're arguing or fighting, or and just trying my hardest to fight the instincts, like the normal instincts that I would have, like the preconditioning that I got from my childhood, or like the early years of parenting when I didn't know what I was doing. Not that I know what I'm doing now, but a little bit better know. So I think that's where I would take it.
I don't know why I just connected with what you just said there, but you just said smile more, which I was like, yeah, why aren't we smiling more? No, but it makes like that's like the body language that Blade was talking about. Like, people always say like if you start laughing or what you can kind of change the moment, but like it's like you can remind yourself while you're listening to your kids, why don't you smile more instead of kind of like frowning, or like if you're looking at your kid like this, like I would do that. I would look at my kid and be like, I'm really interested, tell me more. They're like, you look like you smelled a fart and you're angry at me. So like I think that smiling more would definitely be, that's a good one. I'm taking that away. I think that is a simple thing I can implement. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, even like I think the point of this reading is like, even if they're bringing you a problem,
See, David,
or they're telling you that like they're doing bad in school, or they got in trouble, or got into a fight or whatever, it's like instead of like changing your body language and allowing yourself to look unhappy with them, it's like try to be in the camp of like, at the end of the day, I'm just glad that you're talking to me about this, that you're telling me this, that I didn't have to like pry this out of you. And even if you did have to pry that out of them, like my wife and I always get to a point where like when we can't get something out of the kids, we literally will tell them, look, this is your last chance. But if you tell us the truth, because that's all we want, like you're not going to get in trouble. Like you're fine. This has gone on long enough. We feel like we've all gotten in trouble because this has kind of wrecked a morning. But like we just want the truth. We just want it to be over with. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. I could keep thinking about Blaze's kid getting into a fight. It's like, it's not a big deal. You're both okay. You're both safe. But I just want to know what happened, so that maybe we can figure out how to make sure it doesn't happen next time. So you're not in trouble. Let's just talk about it. And that's obviously going to go down easier if you're more curious, more kind, more inviting.
Yeah, because Bryson cut him in line and he got punched in the face. And then this kid threw his popsicle sticks away, so Bryson pulled his collar. So they both like crossed each other that week. And now he says it's his worst enemy. And so I'm trying to connect with the parents to see if they can get together. But he's like, no, don't do that. So now like, I don't know if I want to do that because then he'd be kicking and screaming, like going to this kid's house. I don't know.
Kids saying they have an enemy. This just cracks me up.
I totally see like you're like Bryson growing up. Like I couldn't tell my dad who I was fighting in school because he would make me hang out with them.
Yeah, that's like maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense. We're at the top of the hour right now. I have to run for a client right now. If you guys want to stay on, please do. I know that I have to run now.
But
all right, cool.
Love you all.
Yeah, the chat's been great today. Shout out to the chat. You guys have been playing some good stuff today. Love you guys.
All right, cool. I'll just do something. So, no hearts. No hearts. Didn't happen. All right. Well, we're out. I failed.
See you, buddy.